Hey, what's up everyone? If you're new to my channel, my name's Elise. If you're not new, welcome back. It's great to see you again. I'm so glad you clicked on this video. As you can tell from the title of this video, let's talk about my May reading plans. Now, as of tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, I will be turning in my final assignment of the semester for grad school. So I'm hoping that this means that I will have a lot more time to read in May, and that is why this hopefuls TBR is so freaking ambitious. So, wish me luck. First things first, let's talk about the books that I'm currently in the middle of reading that I want to complete this month. So first we have Winter, which is the fourth book in the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I am trying to finish this series this month. I am about 22% of the way through, so I don't know, like 160 or so pages, maybe. This book is over 800 pages, so wish me luck. It does follow Winter on Luna, the colony on the moon, in this science fiction fantasy world. And so we finally get her perspective into this whole like crazy kind of thing that the Queen of Luna is trying to like destroy the earth and take over. So Winter, along with the crew that has accumulated with the rest of the series, is trying to put a stop to it. Then we have Butcher and Blackbird. I am currently on page 100. I got to page 100 in one day. I really enjoyed it. I just have other things that are going on right now, so I put this down for a hot second. I want to finish it. Honestly, if I give it a little bit of time, I think I could finish this in one more day. Butcher and Blackbird is by Bryn Weaver, and it's a story about two serial killers who kill other serial killers. The main male character, Rowan, finds Sloane in a bit of a pinch, and weirdly they befriend each other and create this like friendly competition to see who can kill certain serial killers first, and they meet up once a year and do that. It's also a romance. They kind of have a thing for each other, and so far that crush has kind of started, and it's really freaking cute. Then we have The Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I want to finally read it. I just kind of put it down because other books have had more of a priority for me, and at the time when I was reading this was the only book I had on hand. This follows Naomi, who has a twin sister who is really toxic and steals her stuff when she goes to help her, and leaves Naomi with an 11-year-old niece to take care of in this town. So Naomi's kind of left to try and pick up after herself, pick up where things left off, take care of her niece, and the people in town don't really like her because, you know, she looks like her sister. So they have bad feelings towards her, and so she's kind of trying to, like, you know, get friendly with the town and take care of her niece and, you know, just develop this cozy little life, and it's really sweet. I love the cast of characters so far. There are a few like side things on the side, like subplots where like crazy little things have happened, but not to her. So I have a feeling that the end of this book is going to be a little bit wild. Then we have House of Earth and Blood. As you can see, I am rereading it and annotating it. I am currently on page 230, but this has not been a priority because I've read this a few times, and reading it in physical format is really slow for how big this thing is, and I'm annotating it, so that is definitely slowing me down. It just hasn't been a priority because I've already read this book 3 or 4 times. Anyway, so it's not new to me, like I know what's happening, but I wanted to reread it and annotate it and take my time so that I could really like dig into the 3rd book. But I need to finish this. I need to make it a priority and get her done because I've been reading this since like January, I think. Another book that I'm currently reading is an ebook, and that is The House Witch 2 by Delamock. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I finally picked this up recently, and it just clicked. It's just so delightful. I love this series so much. It's so cozy. It's so silly. It's a little bit ridiculous, but it's like a historical fantasy romance following a tall, lanky, red-headed house witch. He is a witch of the home to make it safe and cozy, and he cooks and he cleans. Give me one of those. Actually, I already kind of have one. He's a redhead and he cooks really well, but he kind of cleans a little bit. Yeah, love you, Cooper. This book is so cute and so delightful, and normally I'm not for 3rd-person floating narrative, but Delamock does it justice, and I'm having the best time, and I cannot wait to finish it. I'm currently at like 21%, I think. Okay, this next set of books I really want to read to kind of finish wrapping up some videos I'm currently in the middle of filming, and there is one for personal reasons. So first we have Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. This is a vampire and wolf marriage of, like, contract marriage, I guess. And so it's like forced proximity. They obviously don't like each other because they're two different species. I think they're trying to like make an alliance or something like that. I hear it's really spicy and really fun. Then we have Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is a contemporary romance of two people who were together once, split apart, and so it's like a second chance romance. We get a past point of view of them you know, falling in love and then falling apart, and the current timeline where they meet up again and maybe fall in love again. Then we have The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I'm finally ready to try out Mariana Zapata. This is a football romance book. He is a football player. She was his assistant. Something happens. She quits, and he like shows up at her door and is like, you can't quit. I'm really hoping there's some groveling going on. She's even more dumbstruck when he explains that her job description is about to become even more outrageous, something that takes the personal and personal assistant to a whole new level. Then we have Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I think I had this in my April TBR and I just didn't get to it. It's a priority this month. This is a golf sports romance. He's the golfer. She is like his biggest fan. But apparently something happens where he kind of becomes really protective of her, and it just sounds really good, and it's had really good ratings so far. Then we have Only When It's Us by Chloe Lissay. It's the first book in the Bergman Brothers series. I'm excited to start this. I am excited to read more Chloe Lissay books. I think it has to do with some soccer. I don't know. Looks really good, and I trust Chloe Lissay. And then this is for personal reasons. I have just been kind of like gravitating towards Uprooted by Naomi Novik. My friend Sonia picked this out and gave it to me, so I'm really excited to give it a chance. It is a young adult fantasy where this wizard, also known as the dragon, just doesn't really interact with society, but every 10 years he takes a maiden from the town. And you would think it's like this big, evil, scary thing, but actually like people want to be chosen because he takes that woman and he goes and he educates them. And then they become like elevated in society. And there are even some women who don't want to return to society. They want to stay with him. This girl's best friend is kind of slated to be chosen. They think she's the one, and then it ends up being her. And so I guess we get to kind of like see who the dragon is and behind the scenes and stuff. And so it sounds really cute, and I'm excited to read it. Okay, next we have some series that I want to continue this month if I get the chance. There are a few that already have the audiobook ready to go. So first we have The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. This will conclude this duology of the Spanish love deception duology. This follows Rosie, who's in the first book, and I guess something happens where she's staying in this apartment, and then, oh my god, stop, she's a romance writer. Okay, so this follows Rosie, and she is living in her best friend Lena's empty apartment for the time being, but she also lent her apartment to her cousin Lucas for the summer. So Lucas and Rosie end up becoming like temporary roommates. So it's forced proximity, and apparently she's a secret romance writer. Cute. The next book that I already have ready on Libby is Seasparrow by Kristen Cashore. This is the 5th and most up-to-date book in the Graceling Realm series. It is following Hava, who we meet in a few of the previous books, but we finally get her main point of view. And I guess they're on a journey and something happens to their entourage. There's like a crash in the wintry sea. The survivors must endure a harrowing trek across the ice to make it back to Monsea, and while Queen Bitterblue grapples with how to carry the responsibility of a weapon that will change the world, Hava has a few more mysteries to solve and a decision to make about who she wants to be in the new world Bitterblue will build. Then we have Find Me. I actually am only going to read Shadow Me this month, probably. Potentially Reveal Me, I'm not sure. So we just finished Restore Me, and so that will be the next novella to read. Then we have the 11th book in the Wings of Fire series called The Lost Continent. This is coming in on Libby soon, so I'm hoping to read it. This one is about the lost continent. There is like main continents in the first 10 books of the series, and then they discover this dragon who is not like anyone on this continent, who claims she's flown across the sea from another continent. So I think we're gonna get to explore that, so that sounds fun. Then we have In the Weeds by BK Borison. I would like to continue the rest of the series so that I can be up to date when Business Casual comes out. So this is the second book in the series. It follows Evelyn and Beckett, and Beckett is the kind of groundskeeper of Lovelight Farms, and so cute. He and Evelyn had a one-night stand like a long time ago, and then she kind of comes back randomly into his life surprisingly, and I guess maybe they get like a second chance romance. I don't know, is it like second chance if they only had a one-night stand, you know what I mean? I don't know, but I hear it's cute. Then we have Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Chestnut Springs series. It follows Cade, who is a grumpy grouch. He is a grouch. Yes, he is. But he's also a single dad. Oh, it's an age gap too. Okay. Working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should be simple, except she can't keep her eyes off him. So I think Willa is Summer's best friend, and so she comes to be his nanny. I just know he's a soft boy. He better fall first. Another video that I want to try and film is reading ARCs. So the first and most important ARC that I want to read this month is Mine to Claim by Whit. Whit is a bookstagrammer and a booktuber, and I like to call her my friend. I think she is so cool. I have been following her journey as she's been writing this novella, and I'm so excited for her and proud of her. She has this whole series of novellas planned out. She's very transparent about her journey, and I'm just so stinking excited for her. So I really want to read this regardless, but I do want to try and film a video where I read some ARCs that I have gotten. So hers would be at the top of the list of that video and is at the top of the list regardless. I'm gonna read it this month. It's a high priority. So there's that. Go check it out. I will leave the link for it in the pre-order down below. It's a very reasonable price of 99 cents. But then we also have The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This doesn't come out until, well, it'll probably be out by the time that y'all see this video because I am so behind, y'all. So behind. But I do have the ARC for The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. It's their most recent book. It's a marriage of convenience becoming inconveniently real. I'm here for it. I trust. Then we have The Rom-commers by Catherine Center. Let's see when this comes out. June 2024. Yeah, maybe I'll read this in time and have it up. He is a screenplay writer. Writes a rom-com. It's horrible. They call in her help, who is Emma, because she does like ghostwriting, so it's her job to help him clean this up and make it better. He's kind of like a stickler about it. So she's like, fine, let's go do these things and I will show you how ridiculous they are. And then they also do some of the things that she's like trying to convince him to do and add to the screenplay. So they go off on these like fun little adventures together, and it just sounds really fun and really cute. Also, it's a companion novel to The Bodyguard, which I didn't realize until I got to talk to her at the TLA conference. Then we have The Blonde That Dies First by Joelle Wellington. Oh no, The Blonde Dies First by Joelle Wellington. I got to see her at the TLA conference as well on a thriller panel. Thriller is not my normal go-to, but she was so clever and funny, and the way she described this book just sounded really, really fun. It sounds like a really fun group of friends, and this demon like attaches to one of them, and it's crazy stuff, funny conversations. They're trying to figure out how to get out of the situation, and it just sounded really fun. Scream meets The Breakfast Club in this twisty thriller from the author of Their Vicious Games. That comes out in July 30th. Then we have The Spindle of Fate by Amy Lim. This is a young adult fantasy. Oh, not young adult, it's middle grade. On sale June 2024. Her mom is a tailor and then disappears. But someone shows up telling her that her hardworking tailor mother was actually the head of a guild of magical weavers who can change the fate of a person with only a spool of thread. So apparently her mom is not dead but gone and trapped in Diu, the Chinese underworld, and only Evie can get her back. So I guess she goes on this adventure to get her mom back. I just thought that sounded like a fun world. Also, I love when ARCs have this like white edge to them. It looks like a little frame, and it's just really satisfying to me. Okay, like I said, I know this is ambitious, but I'm hoping I can maybe do like a 24-hour reading challenge, and these are the books that I maybe want to read for that challenge. So we have Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young, Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. I've heard great things. That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. I met her at the TLA conference, and this sounds so good, even though thriller is kind of out of my comfort zone. Then we have Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang and The Blonde Identity by Allie Carter, if we can get to those. We'll see. I think I mentioned this in April about some books I wanted to read, and I didn't get to it, so I do want to read Rough Waters and Sizzle Reel for a video that I have planned, so we'll see. I only have 29 books on my May TBR. Let me know in the comments how many you think I am going to end up reading from this list. I'm going to try really hard to stick to it. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. I've said that in the past and it doesn't always work because mood reading. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well whenever and wherever you're watching this. If you liked it, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you made it this far. I will see you in my next video and sending you all good vibes. Bye everyone.